Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining this online question and answer session. I am Michael Joseph. I work for Brunel University and lead the RIEm program. So quite warm or quite bright here in West London in Brunel University campus. I'm sure you are all experiencing the same wherever you are joining this discussion. So as you see, the main focus of this discussion is to understand the research innovate emerge RIEm program of the university and how it is helping businesses to access research and innovation funding and the details of this particular program. So we have got here a brief agenda. So in terms of the introduction, and then after that we have Professor Jeff Rogers sharing Brunel's support to SMEs to advance innovation, and then I will be sharing more in details about the program, and then Richard Rugili, the expert consultant, will be sharing his observations from supporting now over 75 businesses. And then we have Dr. Andrew Tucker, one of our alumnus, would be sharing, RIEm alumnus, would be sharing his experience getting funding and some discussions for the next steps. So that's the focus. And if you are not speaking, may I request you to be on mute. And of course, we'll have chance for asking questions later, and then we'd like to hear your voice at that time. And then please make use of the chat facility to ask questions or things that are not clear. So yeah, and then otherwise, may I request you to be on mute if you are not speaking. So thank you. We had around 37 organizations registered to attend the program. So a warm welcome to everybody to Brunel University at London, here in West London. So with that introduction, may I hand this over to you to share Brunel's support to businesses to advance innovation. This part will be led by Professor Jeff Rogers, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor for Enterprise and Employability here in Brunel University, who manages the higher level innovation management relationships with the industries, and also the innovation ecosystem in the region, and also who has had different senior roles in the university. So he has got a high level of experience. And currently, Jeff also co-lead a large innovation funding program to introduce net zero into food systems, especially with the Park Royal as the main cluster here. So, Jeff, over to you.
Thanks, Michael. So, good afternoon, everybody. So, yeah, I'm Michael. I'm Pro Vice Chancellor for Enterprise and Employment, which is a much more difficult job than Enterprise and Employability. Actually, I guess the metrics are very different, but yes. Anyway, so welcome everybody. I think first of all, I just start off by just saying that we don't at Brunel regard ourselves as a normal institution in any sense. We were founded in the 60s by Wilson, kind of to break the mold of universities at that time that were very sort of ivory tower and not particularly interested in the impact research was having, or indeed the employability of their graduates. And so Wilson founded a whole load of universities at that time in the 60s, Bradford, Aston, Warwick, Bath, Brunel, and others. Really to kind of break the mold a little bit and try to ensure that graduates were ready for work in the UK in the modern economy, and he believed that the economy was going to need more graduates, but also that the research was directed towards the needs of society. And I think that Brunel over the years has remained truest to that original mission, that Wilsonian vision, and we have persisted. We invented the thin sandwich program, so we're still a very, very large provider of sandwich degree courses and allowing students to go on placements during their degree programs, and we have very good employability. And we have a very, very good record for working with industry on research projects and designing research projects and co-creating research projects with business in order to ensure that it meets their needs. And of course, this very much chimes with most governments have this on their agenda, that the new Starmer administration clearly talking about putting economic growth at the centre of their strategy and seeing universities as being a big part of how that's going to happen. And so we certainly feel that we're well placed to take advantage of that. We actually, at any one time, have around the 13th largest Innovate UK portfolio for working with businesses, which is very good. All the institutions in the top 20 are much larger than we are, but our academics are much more interested in working with businesses on research projects than they are in doing just blue skies research. And so we have a very large portfolio of funding from the government to support our work with business. We also have the 33rd largest CPSRC portfolio. Much of that now, these days, is directed towards the needs of business. And again, also a very large EU portfolio as well. And again, we have a big portfolio of research for SMEs in that bit, which is also very much directed towards the needs of business. We also have 2 innovative manufacturing research centres, and typically we do about 25 million pounds worth of booking about 25 million pounds worth of new research a year. So we have a portfolio at any one time of around 70 to 80 million pounds of research going on. Thanks, Michael. We'll look at the next one. And so we have a mission which I think was distinctive. So when after Wilson decided we were going to have a university out here in the West London, somebody wrote the charter, and somebody wrote, which was very novel, that the students would know the relevance of that learning to the affairs of our realm, and that, so the idea that students' learning should in some way be relevant to something was pretty novel in 1966, and still we're the only UK university with a phrase like that in our charter. So, and as I said, I think we've remained true to that. So we do the ways in which we work with businesses are myriad. And there's 11 listed there, collaborative research being kind of the blue chip, but we do a lot of placement internships. We do contract research, less of that these days because Innovate UK can support quite a lot of research. We do quite a bit of consultancy still. Short courses and CPD, we both commercialise our own IP, but we also support businesses to commercialise theirs. We offer a range of apprenticeships across a range of sectors. We do innovation vouchers, which are small pieces of research with businesses for them, which is essentially free to the small business at the point of delivery. We do student projects, which are also obviously free as well. And so that's a great opportunity to get some good ideas from some 18 to 21-year-olds. So a lot of firms are looking for insight from that kind of junior population. So that works very well for them. And it also gives our students some real world experience. Then we have advisory boards, honorary posts and staff exchange, as well as kind of ways in which knowledge and people move between the university and our industrial partners. Thanks, Michael. And so the ways in which we work with industry are, as I say, very many different methodologies. And of course, we have partnerships with very large numbers of SMEs and then smaller groups of much larger corporates. We have major strategic partnerships, I think, with three bodies: Constellium, which are the largest aluminium manufacturer in Europe, Jaguar Land Rover, and the Welding Institute at Cambridge, where we have a long-term strategic relationship. We do quite a bit of work with Heathrow, with Segro, and with Siemens and with O2 and Thales. They're all sort of medium level. I mean, clearly I think it's not really that we are their go-to organisation, but we've had some significant projects with all those bodies over the last 5 years. And the sectors where we are clustered, where we have real expertise, though we actually can, of course, and do research for every sector. But the areas where we probably have the large critical mass are in automotive, construction, manufacturing, and oil and gas. And that's where we have of the order of hundreds of researchers working in areas that are pertinent to those fields. And if you think about our technologies, and this, of course, if I showed this in the university, this would be very, very controversial, because everybody would be looking at it and say, you're not talking about my technology. Academics obviously very precious about making sure that they work. But if you kind of divide it into broad areas, clearly these are all overlapping also. We have traditionally been very active in materials processing right from the foundation of the institution, and we are still very active both in polymer processing, particularly, but also in metals processing, particularly aluminium and other light metals. We have quite a considerable track record of research in waste valorization. In fact, when I first worked for the university, which is a very long time ago, we were giving every 18-year-old who came onto the campus a biodegradable plastic bag to take their prospectus home. When they came to find out about the university, they came onto the campus and we gave them a prospectus and a biodegradable plastic bag to put it in, which was a very, very long time ago. And we were well ahead of that trend in terms of thinking about how cellulose can be used in order to break down some particular products. We are doing a lot of research in sensors and AI, and we have our computer science department substantial capability in a broad range of AI technologies. We are doing a lot of green technologies broadly, and I define that right the way from all sorts of different devices, gadgets, and other bits and pieces. And then we have probably the other large area apart from the first one. We have a substantial capability around a broad range of heat, energy, and power, and that includes hydrogen, automotive engines, power systems, geothermal, solar, and wind. So quite substantial capability across a range of technologies and areas. Thanks, Michael. And then I have, just to kind of finish up, just a few examples of our work, which I will go through fairly quickly. Thank you, Michael. So this was work we did with EDF and TWI, where we developed a high temperature transducer that could be put into the nuclear reactor, and it essentially sends a signal when a crack is developing in the side of the reactor. And because EDF were concerned about the structural integrity of some of their reactors, they were pleased to get these devices installed, and it allowed them to turn the nuclear power plant back on again sooner, because they had these devices in place and therefore they could be assured that there weren't going to be any problems that they didn't know about. And so actually, what HM1 was taken out of commission, and they said it was going to be out of action for 2 years. We developed this thing, and they got it back into sort of energy production in just under a year. So we supported the sort of security of electricity into the national grid. Go on, Michael. Let's just have a look at the next few. This is polymer based. This is very mundane. This is very, which I think rather sweet. The Elster, who make a lot of water meters, millions a year, they have problems in some countries because you have precious metals in the water meters, and people break into the water meters to steal them, or those metal components corrode because the temperatures are very high in the Middle East, or because the water isn't really salty or whatever. So you have either corroded parts or stolen parts. And so Carnick has been working with them, and actually Honeywell, who owned the business. Honeywell owned the business now, and he was working with Elster, who owned it before them, and to slowly replace most of the precious metal parts with polymer counterparts over a number of years. And actually, Honeywell wrote us a letter saying that the reason they had retained production in the UK was because they had access to Carnick and his research, which was helping them to slowly make these water meters last longer and be less prone to either fault or theft. Thank you, Michael. And then Mizzy, working with a firm called EcoDeck, making eco decking. They basically most years collected about make 1 million linear meters of decking using about 3,600 tons of sustainable source wood, and more importantly, around 100 million 4-pint milk bottles. So you take waste post-consumer plastic with waste wood and some sustainably sourced wood, and make eco decking. And this decking has been used all over the place. So a lot of the penthouses in London have got this decking on it, and so has the beach walk in Dubai. If you've been to Dubai and done the beach walk, The decking on that is made by EcoDeck, and that's all sustainably manufactured from recycled milk bottles. Thank you, Michael. And I think this is probably the last one, and this is probably our largest research area, and this is about looking at new methods for casting and processing light metals, particularly aluminium. And so we have developed a whole load of casting methods which allow a larger amount of post-consumer aluminium to put into the melt, and also allowing the casts to be made much thinner but much more robustly, and having much better mechanical properties. And so this allowed Jaguar Land Rover and others to cast automotive crash, particularly the front of the car with the crash zones in. It allows that metal to be cast a lot thinner, reducing the weight of the car, and therefore reducing the petrol consumption, and also reducing reducing the use of metal. And so using some of the standard formulae, we calculated the carbon costs of all that work as it was 2 years ago. They're much larger now. So I think that is some examples of the sorts of things we have been doing in the last few years with some major partners, and certainly looking both to repeat those sorts of projects with some of the SMEs that come on RIEm, but also to help those SMEs to grow a little bit and to get to the stage where they can do larger projects as well. Thank you, Michael. I think that will.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jeff, for that fantastic start and presentation. And my apologies for wrongly introducing you earlier.
That's all right. So I'll let you off.
Yes. So thank you. And a colleague, just for all of us to know, I mean, Jeff is a passionate advocate of the RIEm program, and he always says in how it helps businesses to engage with the different parts of the university, and then leads to further collaborative projects like we see this big projects, and also other medium projects also come out of these types of partnerships. So thank you, Jeff. I know you have to attend the one important meeting.
I think I need to go now. So all right, thanks very much.
Really, thank you. Thanks for joining us. So if any questions, we will take them later, and then we'll try to respond to your questions. Please do post any questions you have. And thank you to those of you joined a bit late. So again, welcome back. So the next part of the agenda, we have a couple of other slides. Yeah. The next part of the agenda is mostly to run through the main offerings of the Research, Innovate, Emerge RIEm program. As we say here, this is to help businesses to access collaborative research and innovation funding. I lead this program. I'm just my background. I have 2 roles here. I lead this program, and I work also as business development manager, focusing on healthcare and medical technology, because as Jeff mentioned a lot about engineering and manufacturing and all the things, but Brunel is also very good in healthcare medtech, digital health area. So and I came from that background, and previously, of course, to work with business. What is my credential, you would ask? So I worked 16 years in private sector, including as head of business development for international trade and consulting firm with a $500 million turnover, mostly global, health strategy management consulting support. So I understand the pain of generating revenue and also going for large to or small to large or medium tenders. So that's my background. So the picture you see, this is the last cohort of businesses that worked with us for the 3rd edition of RIEm. Usually we take a group picture with the colleagues who work and also some of the facilitators and speakers. And for the RIEm program, we have a very small team, and you all will listen to Richard, and then we have good Sally Sopin, who supports here. She is here, and then we also Gautam, who also works as a research assistant as well for the program. So and then other business development managers in the department helps to get the right businesses. So what is in it for us? So you will be wondering, is it worth to spend time? Would it? The universities are known to do different type of things. So as I said initially, the main aim of the program, helping businesses to access innovation funding. And then sometimes, if you go for Innovate UK funding, they always value if you have an R&D partner or a public sector partner, because these are organizations known for their research, innovation, expertise, and capability. So we help you to understand how to work with some of the R&D partners, or in this case, Brunel, the expertise we offer, or other institutions. We sometimes say, we like you to work with us after attending the program, but otherwise, if you have other partner, fine. So then we help you in the process to develop funding applications, compelling funding applications, which to be integrated with the research and innovation part. And then, so within that, so there is an emphasis on, some follow-on mentoring and review support. And then we also look into how would you strengthen route market strategies in this process, to help you with the growth. Because, most funders, especially innovation funders, are really particular about your route market plans and whether it is credible or not. So we also, refer to some of those things with practical examples. So if this is the program, I have got a small video here. Let me play this video, giving you a snapshot of some what is the offering of the program. I hope everybody could hear the sound as well. Welcome to Brunel University's new program to help businesses.
Research, Innovate, Emerge, RIEm is a program started by Brunel University to help businesses to strengthen their abilities for collaborative research and innovation with universities.
We're going to be helping those businesses understand how such a strategy can help them drive growth in their business, help them to develop new products and processes. Long term, we're going to be working with these businesses to help them meet bigger challenges such as net zero, AI and digitisation.
I'd recommend the programme because it's important as individual businesses to be able to learn from each other, understanding what works, what doesn't work, particularly as we're all coming from quite a variety of different backgrounds, different sectors.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this to other businesses and people such as myself in similar positions with their companies. The information you can get from Brunel about what they can offer and networking with other people outside of your usual circles is extremely valuable, and I don't feel it happens in many other kind of respects.
Businesses benefit by strengthening their abilities for collaborative research and innovation, or to generate data for a new solution they are taking to the market, and also get public funding from UK research innovation ecosystem or other wider actors.
Well, what I learned today was how exciting it is to meet people from different backgrounds, commercial, non-profit, all with really great ideas and doing really good things, and the opportunity to share them together with the support of Brunel University.
To know more about how your organization may benefit from RIEm, or if you like to collaborate with Brunel University to run an edition of this trademark protected program. Yeah. So we continue the discussion. So yes, you can talk to us. So if I complete that part of the video. So as you see there, so there are three main pillars for this program. One is, through the research support, businesses are given access to some of the experts we have here, also facilities for technical and research support. And as part of the second pillar, the innovation support, so we have this free consultancy and mentoring support to develop your innovation plan and how that could be transformed into a compelling proposal. That is where expert consultant Richard plays an important role, and also some of the other business development managers. And then finally, we want you to come to the market with your solution, with your innovation, with the accelerated route to funding and market possibilities. So what does it mean? So what are the main offers as part of the program? So we say, we offer 3-day workshop here. I mean, split over 5 months. So say we usually start the onboarding process December, January, and the first workshop in February. So we do a needs and a capacity assessment with Richard and me joining sometime in January. So it's over 5 months period. That assessment, introduction, some of the experts, because as you saw, some of you already filled the application from am aware. So you see, when you send your that brief summary of innovation challenge or your priority as an organization, that gives us some cues of what type of expert support you may need from us. So we also try to introduce some of our experts here. And then practical sessions. These workshops are run by Richard and me. We don't involve theoreticians in this process. In how do you sharpen your plan and which funder you would target. And then so these are fully funded. We don't charge you. So I mean, it costs us around 8,000, 10,000. I mean, 8,000 was 3 years back because our time is not charged to this project. So we are funded by government to do this program. So we don't charge businesses to attend the program. But then you get mentoring support, review of the funding proposals. Like Richard spends a lot of time going through the proposals, academics review and gives inputs and write sections of the proposal sometimes if you are applying for Innovate UK proposal. And then we do introduce you to public and private investors, like the picture I showed you earlier, or coming next. You will see some different type of funders coming here. And also we introduce the concept of pitching, not for everybody, but the top 3 matured idea would be given opportunity to be presented to Innovate UK, to VCs and angel investors, and then lots of peer-to-peer support in the process. So it has got like 4 phases. As I said, the first phase is needs assessment. We understand your capacities, your needs, and see where you are moving to. And you come to the campus, Brunel, here in West London, for the first workshop, which is focused around how do you develop your innovation strategy? What are the drivers of your innovation? What motivates different organizations to go for, even there are small or medium enterprises. And then at the end of that, we give you a task to complete in 1 page. You are in priority targeting a particular funder. So like concept note in 1 page. Then we receive that in 4 weeks time. We give you feedback in terms of sometimes we get lots of ideas from businesses. We would say, how do you focus on 1 or 2? Or how would you validate that solution? How do you focus on the TRL, technology readiness level advancement process? So those are the things we cover. And then, with that feedback in phase 3, you come here. So we introduce other key funding questions that you need to address, such as what is your innovation? What is the impact you are proposing from different sides? How do you validate your impact? What is the route to market? And then we also have lots of case-based discussions in groups. If you have the manufacturing group, you sit in 1 table as manufacturing companies, and then you discuss a real case, and then we explore, we discuss and request you to give different solutions or options targeting a funder. If you are working in digital economy area, we will give you a case study relevant to that. If you are in a health sector organization, we give you a case study relevant to that. So we group you in different, based on your sector. And then that peer-to-peer support as well is quite invaluable in the process. I know, we will hear from Andrew later how he has been working with 1 or 2 others in the process. And at the end, we want you to submit a funding application in a collaborative research innovation funding proposal to funders such as Innovate UK or European Institute of Innovation Technology or Growth Hub or different funders or BASE or DCMS, different funders. And there's also mentoring support involved here in the process. And we also introduce you to some research groups with networking and refreshments and drinks. So every workshop, when you come here, you also meet with around 30 academics. And we will also say, okay, if you want to do a lab tour, you could see during lunchtime. So those kind of things are added to the program. So really to get an in-depth understanding of what is available there with regard to the offerings. So this is some feedback you hear from participants.
I would definitely recommend this course to anyone in my position. It's high energy, it's a free course, and it has been fantastic.
I'm lucky enough to be halfway through this incredible course at Brunel, where I have learned so much already. I've been working with Brunel for actually quite a while, over a year, But this is where a lot of those thoughts and ideas are being consolidated, ready for further funding and to really take our project to the next level.
This course run by Brunel was really beneficial because it taught me a lot about the services Brunel offer, a lot about the funding programs and the ways of partnerships and collaboration that take place with commercial businesses.
I'm the founder of a medtech company building technology to help patients recover after a stroke at home. The RIEm is a unique program and is custom tailored around the company needs, which work with innovative products. The greatest thing around it was that it's built around the Innovate UK funding competitions.
I decided
Yeah, I'm just moving there because of the time. So we have lots of testimonies there. So at one of the participants you saw in the video, it's from a multi-billion company, Wolfram. I mean, you know, they work in data analytics and things. So of course, the European part of Wolfram is not multi-billion, but you know, so you see, even we have big companies see the value and they continue to engage with us. So, and also lots of small and medium enterprises. So to join the program, we say you need to have a turnover or investment of £100,000. It's evidence in the company house account filing, and your challenge or your requirement expressed in 100 words. I mean, not big, just a brief summary. And the technology readiness level of your proposed solution should be 3 or above. And you should have some staff full-time equivalent on payroll, and your commitment to attend the sessions. And you know, yes, you haven't had any experience of getting funding because it's all around the funding. So just some numbers there. Like we now in the 3 cohorts, we worked with 75 businesses. So I would say applications submitted for 7.2 million and good funding 2.7 million. So I mean the number has gone up. This is the businesses good. And tiny bit of funding has come to Brunel, so that is in it for us, if you ask me. The people say, oh, there's no free lunch, you know. But also we also get other impact, which we will see later, you know, part of the slide. And then plus lots of like companies recruit our graduates. That is our impact. We want our graduates to be absorbed, and also some support for your talent identification. So we even run free recruitment campaign here. Lots of publications, you know, case studies and media-friendly stories. So those are the benefits. So we did an evaluation of the program. So using external consulting agency S4W. So we had good response rate from our participants you know, to understand what is the impact of this program. So you see here overall, you know, businesses to invest time to attend the program, give 35 hours in total. So I would say the customer centricity of the program came out on the top. You know, the onboarding process, the homework, plus I see on the graph, the ease of processes for businesses, whether it's attending the workshop, so benefiting from that, to engaging with different parts of the university. So the evaluation survey showed, as you see, all the graphs like blue and the orange and the brown, except the one on the very top on the right. That's where a bit of a not so positive experience, a tiny one, basically identifying funding opportunities. I know, you know, we do signpost some opportunities, but of course we could do more. So otherwise, that's a very difficult, they say. Otherwise, rest is quite positive, as very easy or the brown as neutral in terms of the whole process. And I would say the benefits and return on investment. Just concluding here, my you know, main points. We can say with the confidence, those who also attended our program and submit Innovate UK application, they have 73% success rate, as against 5 to 10% of the success rate, provided they apply for the funding. And then for other funding, you know, overall 68%. So as I mentioned, yes, Brunel gets some funding from Innovate UK to help these businesses to advance their solution, not to do our own research. And plus other benefits. So if Brunel spend £1 businesses got 23.5 pounds. You know, so it means multiplying taxpayers' money. And of course, the Brunel is tiny return here, but other benefits of graduate recruitment, profile building, you know, and some businesses continue to engage with us. You know, so like you see, that is a picture of networking where you see at the end of the workshop, we have academic experts and speakers engaging with participants. So because of the success, we were recognized by West London Business with an award for the contribution to the regional development. So we are humbled, So this is one case study of one of the companies in digital health area, how he continues to work with us even after though he got £630,000 to validate a solution for children's mental health, because he had the solution, he knew it is working. Sticks mindfulness, they knew it was working. However, they didn't validate. So this is where they need research innovation funding. And our colleagues led by here, Professor Veena Kumari in the psychology department, helped the company to validate the solution in the school. And the good thing, you will be surprised to hear, he got funding, innovative UK funding, he got 2 rounds. But their route to market is also changed now. From they were initially targeting individual families, but now they're focusing on school after the study. So again, I always say this is a classic example how this type of collaboration can even help your route to market approaches. So some of the participants receive funding, awards, and big investments. This company has got a short price award, $1 million US. Of course, we can't take any credit for their solution, but they do saw the value of the program. They attended it. I'm aware we have challenges. We can't say it's all glossy and nice. So continue the engagement with the businesses is not easy for us. Because sometimes certain needs you have, certain skills you need, may not be able to respond to that always. Sometimes businesses think, oh, our technology can immediately go to market. No, it takes time, needs to validate. So that TRL, that technology readiness level improvement process, can be a challenge. And also, I have to acknowledge, as a university, we have sometimes other priorities too. So we can't always respond to the needs of the businesses. So these are some of the challenges. So my final slide. So is, with all this, we are inviting, this is a good news for you. We are inviting application for the next edition of the program. It's a very small application. Doesn't say a lot, just 100 words about your innovation challenge, and then some eligibility criteria questions, and we want you to commit that you are happy to attend the program. So if you complete the application by 30th September, and if it's accepted onto the program, then we are inviting the 15 first confirmed applicants for a RIEm alumni gathering on 16th of October, where we are getting funders, another type of funders, European Institute of Technology, EIT funders are coming. You also Innovate UK, another arm or part of Innovate UK who work with co-investors. They're coming in addressing, and 1 or 2 other experts. So you get, selected few will get a chance to attend the RIEm alumni gathering, usually reserved for alumni members. So that is in conclusion, I would say, I know you may have to think about it, whether it's worth about your organization or for your organization, or it will help you. So again, happy to take any questions. So as I said, the seats are limited. You only can take maximum 25 businesses for every cohort. So again, we already have got 5 applications confirmed. So if you are interested, I would say please do complete the form without delay. So with that, I should be, yes, there are some, I think, questions on the chat, because I am, is full-time equivalent. There's a question with the ASON website. It's minimum 2 full-time staff employed in the organization. Yeah, Marun, thank you for asking this question. We are, if it's 2 people on payroll, we would consider, depending on the innovation challenge you have got, and whether it's aligning with the expertise we have. So yes, and also the other criteria of £100,000 of investment or expenditure. Yeah, please do. Yeah, I would say minimum 2. Yeah, there may be some flexibility on that. Yeah, thank you, Varun. So if I don't see any other immediate questions, if there's any immediate questions, please do post them. If not, happy to take further questions later. So if that's the case, may I then request Richard Wrigley the managing director of BTEC Technology and the expert consultant of RIEm program. I mean, I'm fortunate to have been working with Richard now almost 4 years. So to share his reflections on supporting RIEm alumni businesses and their journey in the process. Richard, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael. And yes, I've worked with supporting Michael on this program for the last 3 or 4 years, which has been an exciting journey in each cohort. I've worked with Brunel in 2 or 3 capacities over the last 10 years. And I've been involved in both UK and European innovation funding for the last 30 years. My company currently is involved in 4 European health sector. So important that Michael mentioned health from his perspective, health sector projects, but we're also covering a number of other sectors such as materials and agriculture. So I think from the cohorts that we've had, and it was mentioned in a couple of the videos, is the variety of organisations and people that attend. And so from our perspective, that can be quite challenging to understand, but from the peer-to-peer activity, it's really important because all these different experiences add into helping and providing context and support around developing new products and markets and what other people have experienced, and indeed finding new alliances between companies that attend. So it's important to engage in the workshops and engage in the activities. And I would say that that's not really a problem we've had. I think quite often our problem is containing the enthusiasm that can occur and keeping the focus during those workshops. And the workshops are a mixture of, if you like, presentations by Michael, myself, or other experts and academics from the university, and also funders from outside. So there's quite a variety there. And then, as Michael mentioned at the beginning, before we start, Michael and I will have a short session with each of you just to understand where you are, what you're trying to achieve, and so on. That really helps us in formulating how we support you individually, but also how that tailors the activities. And then after each workshop, there's some, for want of a better word, homework to do, to look at, understanding what your focus is going to be. Quite often companies come with several ideas, and really we want to kind of narrow that down as to where do you want to fix your research and innovation. And research can be a whole variety of activities. Don't just think of white coats and lab benches. There's all sorts of activities covered by research, and we'll explain what innovation is and so on. And my role as well is to provide this kind of background support consultancy to each of you. So you'll have the opportunity to make contact with me, to have conversations, to ask for feedback, and so on throughout the period of the program up until the summer. And some companies use me quite extensively and others fairly lightly. But I think in all, it's been great to see how a number of the participants progress in their business and in their understanding during that time. And it is developing that wider network with the academics. And for me, as a kind of an outsider, I'm not in Brunel. I come in and support this. This scheme does provide an easier route for companies to understand how a university works, and in this case, how Brunel works, what its competencies are, who the academics are, getting to talk to a variety of them. So I think it's valuable, and has been very valuable over the last 3 cohorts. So Yep, some very good stuff. Challenging. I have to get my head around 25 different companies and technologies, and that can fry my brain. So that's good for me, keeps me on my toes, and I look forward to this year's. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Richard. That is, yes, indeed, 25 different companies from different sectors, and, how Richard get the good grasp of these companies and giving that thorough review feedback. I always say that I have to learn from that approach of Richard, as in terms of thorough, meticulous feedback. And some businesses are very smart. They take lots of Richard's time. So sometimes, like we would say, some of them are very needy. So they would say up to 5 hours of mentoring support from Richard. But I've seen some businesses are, I would say, very, very smart. So they send 2-3 concept notes. So yeah. So thank you, Richard. So we will take some questions later. So the final presentation before I come to the last slide. So we have one of our alumnus. This is Dr. Andrew Tucker, the founder, co-founder, and CEO of Metal Capital. So Andrew, may I request you to share your experience of how it has been being part of RIEm. Over to you, Andrew.
Thank you, and I very much echo what Richard was saying about him having to get his head around 25 different business cases. That was a challenge. That was interesting. So nice to meet you all. I was a member of the second cohort. I am the founder of Metal Capital, which is a data analytics business. We at the time were 3 years old. We're now 4 years old. And the 3 things I'd like to sort of draw your attention to is, having completed the RIEm program, I would absolutely recommend that you take up the opportunity to have an innovation voucher. We did that. We were introduced to a very good academic in the School of Mathematics who helped us to prove out the predictive value of our data, which is absolutely essential to our entire business case. Parish Date is his name. We continue to work with him. We're now looking to do a second piece of work with him. It's an outside resource that we absolutely would not be able to afford ourselves. Incredibly hard to find ourselves, and it's frankly very good to tap into the network, and Michael's team helped us to figure out that Parish was the right person to work with. So I very much recommend that. The second piece was that a couple of months after we attended RIEm, I got a nice email from Bal, who's one of the Michael's team, saying, have you thought about applying to this Innovate UK project? It's around sustainability data. It should be right up your street. Long story short, we applied, we went through a series of iterations, and we were ultimately successful, which is fantastic. That brought us, for us, it was worth just under 200,000. We are part of a consortium which we put together, which is worth just under £1 million over 18 months. So we're 4 months into that now. So that's a second piece of funding, which is fantastic. And again, absolutely would not have known that even existed had I not done the RIEm project. Not easy to do, be really clear, but very much worthwhile. So work with the RIEm team to find those kind of funding opportunities. They do exist, and it's, for a startup like us, fantastic, because it was zero equity, and it's cash in hand. So that's absolutely vital for us. And the third piece, which I'm not sure I actually have told Michael yet, but as a result of winning the Innovate money, we then finally got our act together and did a seed round of funding, and we've just raised £200,000 from a pre-seed investor, based on the narrative that we're putting together of working with Brunel to build our data analytics business out. So not just us, but being able to engage with industry experts. So that's really made us. So as a result, we've just hired one more person. So for a small team like us, that's a big deal. We're looking at a runway now stretching into 2026, which is fantastic, and all guns blazing. So it's a big thank you to RIEm, and I thoroughly recommend it to everyone on the call.
Thank you, Andrew. Congratulations. I didn't know that you're 200K additional, because we request nice businesses to give some numbers. We can update our numbers as well. So we will be now hitting 3 million pretty soon with that.
Good.
Thank you. That's fascinating. Fantastic. So yes, thank you, everybody. So this is the time for us to, any questions you have, please unmute yourself. Some slides there, but don't worry, unmute yourself if you have any questions, or please otherwise or put your questions in the chat. So please feel free to ask. This is time for you to ask any questions, or if you have any concerns or on this. Any questions? Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Please, Matthew, go for it.
So what would your advice be to someone like myself who's probably at a TRL1? How do we sort of get to the level of TRL3 where we might be, have the product ready or are employing a couple of staff?
Okay. Very good. So you're saying you are employing a couple of people. You have people on already working in the company.
No, well, I wouldn't know really where to start, if that makes sense, to get to that level.
Oh, I see. Understand. So you have a concept. So I mean, in our case, I mean, look, thank you, Matthew, for being open. So I know all entrepreneurs, innovators, start with something, don't they? So I think, and so you're at the right level at the moment. But however, I would say from a university collaboration, for my department, we usually collaborate with businesses that have a solution at the TRL level 3, because we work with them research experts, so then potential for funding, even the innovation voucher we give up to £5,000 worth new resources, like new money, but it doesn't come to your account, but just to appoint a researcher or buy materials for that. So for the company. So we even to be qualified for that, you need to be at TRL 3. So my thinking is, I mean, sometimes student projects, I mean, you may have to approach that part of the university. I mean, we call professional development center. They usually deal with student projects. So if you have something concept or, I would suggest in that way. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. So I see, yes, Ben, please do ask your question, Ben.
Hi, thank you, Michael. I'm interested in the TRL levels descriptors, and I think that we would describe ourselves at beyond TRL 3 in the sense that we've built an alpha and we're in the early stage testing, validation. That's what we're engaged in. We have feedback initially to show that the concept works, but we need to now develop that into a more robust proof of concept, validation, finding partners, working with Brunel, working with experts to ultimately reach a point where we can raise funds, apply to UK RI on the back of that initial validation, so that we can start to work commercially as a business in addressing the market. Now, does that mean that we are beyond the point where this program would suit us? I don't think it probably is, but I just wanted to check with you that beyond TRL 3 doesn't make it ineligible.
And it won't make you ineligible. We say minimum TRL 3. So Ben, that's a good thing, because we only even innovate UK. If you are TRL 4 or 5, you have a better chance to get the funding than TRL 3, especially if you're talking about biomedical catalysts. They really want you to be TRL 6. So you see, so I mean, it's easier. I mean, of course, how do you define? We do cover some of those things, but an expert facilitator covering, who done the design consulting, as the best example he uses how you optimize TRL just with an automated, the beer dispenser. So he uses that live example to explain the TRL optimization process. So coming back to you, Ben. So yes, what my understand is from the description, your organization could be eligible from a TRL point of view. I don't know about the other context of your organization.
Okay, can I just have one more question? You mentioned
Please.
in the challenges for Brunel about soft activities, and it was very interesting that it took some time before we reached the example of STIX mindfulness and the engagement with the professor of psychology in the psychology department. And you also mentioned earlier health. And it was a relief to us to see that there was that strength, that Brunel, that wasn't reflected in the earlier presentations. And I just wanted to get some reassurance that those avenues would be open under this scheme, and that those links with the health department, with psychology, with those areas are strong and would be open and available to us.
Absolutely, Ben. Yeah, that would be, because I manage this relationship with STIX mindfulness. So I am the business development manager for healthcare and medical technology. Because Jeff is a professor of physics, so he is much more into manufacturing and engineering. So when we go for some joint meetings, I always tell, "Hello, professor of physics. We do lots in health. We have a medical school in Brunel. We have the best physiotherapy department in the whole of London. So yes, we do loads of health." So Ben, you are in the safe place if you have something in the area of health or digital health as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? We have 3 more minutes left. I know sometimes colleagues have, just while you are thinking about questions, colleagues, Richard or Andrew, feel free to join in. Just one point, businesses are a bit skeptical about intellectual property, and what the university will have some stake or share in it. So but we are very flexible. Brunel believes our impact is not with not with selling your as product. We are not better suited for commercializing. These companies are better suited for those things. So we are very flexible, and our policy is inventor owned. So if you are the inventor, you own the IP. Like with the STIX mindfulness, they own the IP. They came to us to validate their solution. So we do not have any IP ownership there. Of course, if that is to be modified, the design wise, and you are involving our design engineers, of course, it's a different conversation. So otherwise, it's inventor owned IP. So we do not have any stake there. We do not have any stake in any of the businesses that come to the program either.
Just if I may, yeah. Michael,
please.
So this is that was a really big point for us, and I forget the lady that came in to talk to us about IP. We specifically asked one of the Brunel faculty to come and talk to us about this. So what Michael's just said is absolutely right. So it's inventor owned. If there is, if you do work with Brunel, they are very flexible and being clear that for small companies, IP is enormously valuable. I would say 2 things. One is it's not actually as scary as I think maybe some people think it is. It is relatively straightforward. There's a principles-based approach that is very clear, and Brunel will be very good about sticking to that. The second one is the validation piece. So it's all well and good having your own IP, but when we went to try to sell to early users, the first question that kept coming up is, well, this is all lovely, but who says that it's correct? So that you need to have a kind of a third-party stamp of approval or some kind of validation to help you get over that early challenge. Once you've got a few clients under your belt, it becomes a lot easier. But the first couple were really hard unless you had that. So I would again recommend RIEm for helping you get over that challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. So, yeah, how many of you don't see the relevance of this for your organization? I mean, you can just say, I know if you don't want to say public, but you want to put a chat or, just, or how many of you see the relevance of this for your organization? No, I'm not doing a poll, but just do you see the relevance of a similar offering? Yes, I see hands. Yeah, just Ben has raised the hands, or is it an eligibility criteria as the issue?
No, it's my hand raised, and no, I think Andrew's point just then was extremely helpful. We've been involved with Brunel through a number of programs and with a number of different people. And we are still struggling to find the right formula to achieve the kind of validation that we need. And this is the first time that I think I can perceive a program that's going to really meet our needs, because what Andrew's described, the process that he's been through with his business, is exactly what we are trying and have been trying to go through, but we have stalled on a number of occasions. And it's proved to be extremely difficult, including putting applications in for grants and so on. So we'd be looking to this program to actually finally break through those barriers, because we made a lot of our own investments, sweat equity, all kinds of things. And we've reached the point where your support is actually critical. And it sounds very much as if the support you gave to Andrew was absolutely critical in his business. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to satisfy your question and say this is something that I can't see helping us. Quite the opposite. I think you've raised my hopes, and I hope very much I can join the scheme.
Okay, thank you, Ben. So yeah, thank you everybody for your time. And unless there is no other question, or if you want to, contact us through emails, I think also we finally I would say. We are quite active on LinkedIn. So this is the QR code. So if you would like to follow us on LinkedIn, we do post funding opportunities there. And this is so please do try. Yeah, see if you want to follow us on LinkedIn. This is a RIEm page of Brunel University. And
if you are a UK business looking for innovation funding, the RIEm program could help you. To join the program, please find the details on the screen or scan the QR code. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.